Hello, Kobi. How are you?
Hola.
You doing well?
Yeah, you may say so. How are you?
Everything is okay. I know it's been very difficult for you guys there for the last month or so, and I
Yeah.
honestly don't know what to say because I never been in a situation like that, and you guys are
Okay.
you guys are the ones that are feeling it, and you know I don't know what it feels like. I'm just lucky to be in a place where we don't have those things to worry about. But how is everything with you, your family? Everyone's okay?
Um, we're fine physically, mentally, spiritually. It's very difficult times when where death is all around you in all sides. Where you have a lot of anxieties about your children and your beloved ones. Uh, it's very hard to see a lot of protests going on in the world and anti-Semitism, anti-Semites raising their heads. It's very hard to see it when people are shouting in Australia against the Jews, when houses of Jews in Paris are being sprayed with Star of David so that people will know that Jews are living here. Um, to see the hatred towards Jews in general on top of the war doesn't makes us a good feeling.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be sorry about it. It's not because of you. It's not your fault. Um, we're happy for you that you are on a peaceful place. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
People should enjoy their life, enjoy music, celebrate life, and I hope that it will be over at some point and we will be back to normal life.
Yeah. The thing is, I know you guys for so long and your music and what the music that you guys create is all about. It's about, peace, unity, and all that. And, seeing I don't put politicians and a population, a country in the same place. Politicians and sometimes extreme religion are a big problem. And when I look at like Orphan Land many years ago, you'd see Palestinians at your concerts. We would see, Jews, obviously, Christians, you know, atheists like myself who don't have a
Of course,
religion. And
of course.
just,
Gays, lesbians,
yeah,
you name it.
yeah, and seeing that people put everyone in the same, package, it's, it's painful to watch and it's not right. And, there should be a way for people to distinguish, you know, what's happening and that everyone is not the same. And, it's hard for everyone, and for you guys it's harder, as you were saying, and hopefully we can have some peace soon. Whatever happens, we just want peace and keep carrying on with our lives, as normal. And you guys have a tour early next year. I don't know if that's going to affect the plans. Do you guys know anything yet, or
For the moment, we continue as planned. There are a lot of, let's say, we or the team or our parents are worried about several things, um, because just because of the fact that we are Jewish.
yeah,
As funny as it may sound, this is not 1939, and we are not people who are into self-victimize or victimizing ourselves, but it's just that they tell us that you need one lunatic. That's all, and we are still going on with the tour because we do not want to let any anti-Semitism or war or anything like that to disturb. our work or our message.
Yeah.
But it's also a matter of promoters or clubs, or I know that our tour manager is actually discussing with some police departments about the security of our shows. As funny as it may sound, you know, we the members of Orphaned, the only creature we ever killed was probably a mosquito.
Yeah.
And but still, this is the world. The world is wrong in many ways and crazy in many ways.
Yeah.
For the moment, it's going as planned, and I hope that it will stay like that. It's not easy, but we will do everything that we can to keep it like that. We have a wonderful album coming out. We want to meet our fans. We didn't meet them for many years because of the COVID-19 era and stuff like that. And I think that I don't want this war to spoil the opportunity to sing and to become a family for 2 hours of show, and to make this small sparkle of light that comes out in our shows. So I would really hope that it will happen.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of the album, Heaven You May Create was a live show with a symphonic orchestra, a 60-piece orchestra, to celebrate 30 years of Orphaned. You guys did manage, you know, between lockdowns to record the show. How long did it take to prepare for for that moment? Because, you know, choosing a set list that would have a song that would fit like a symphonic sound probably wasn't easy. How was all that process? How long did it take?
Well, we knew that we want to make our 30th anniversary show together with an orchestra. That was the main idea. It's probably a dream of a lot of metal bands to do it. But then we already had a venue to do it. We had a budget from Tel Aviv to do it, and we thought to do it in somewhere of an open space. And then it was falling down because of the COVID. And then I said, I'm giving up. I don't want to do it anymore. And the next day, another production company is calling me and asking me, why don't you do a show with an orchestra? They didn't know about that plan. So I felt like something in the karma or in the air wants us to make that show. And they booked one of the Israel's most famous concert halls in Hichal HaTarbut. It's like let's say, one of the most respected halls in Israel. There were never a metal concert in that place. It's a 2,500 seats, and metal people don't want to sit. So and also it's a huge place. So, but it was amazing to see all the metal people come to this. They had an amazing experience. Now, to work on the album, to choose the set list, it was quite of a brainstorm, and also working with the orchestra. We had one music manager with 10 different musicians who were writing the notes. Everyone took 2 songs and they wrote the notes. So it's not it's not one mastermind that did all the arrangements, all the classical arrangements. So you could hear there are a few characters in the songs of various 10 musicians who did it. For us, the band, it was pretty easy, because when we came to rehearsals, we just needed to play our songs the way we know them. But they were 60 people. You know, we had to stop a lot of time. They didn't understand. They had to change something in the papers. They had to stop, play again. We were just at rehearsal. We were just robots. We had a musical manager. We were the robots. Play from this spot. Play that again. Play this song completely once again. And we were just following his orders. And we even did rehearsals at the day of the show, in the soundcheck time. We even did a few rehearsals about some stuff that we wanted to, you know, squeeze and to brush them to be perfect. So it was all the way until the last moment. And it was very frightening for me, because at the rehearsals, I couldn't hear the orchestra. They put us in this very big place, and sound was not the best. It's just for a rehearsal. I didn't hear anything. I didn't know if they're right, if they're wrong. And I remember going on stage and I was just praying to God, I hope that it will be fine.
I
It's,
can.
it's
It must have been, it's an experience, and but not hearing, what's being played, especially with the orchestra, must have been kind of weird because, as you were saying, am I in the right timing?
yeah, it's 60 people,
Yeah.
and we we even had one moment at the show. It's not on the DVD, but we had a moment on the show that we were supposed to start to play the song Ocean Land. And our drummer, instead of giving a note of 4 on his hi-hat, he was just started to play something on his drum like trakaka, and then he started the song. And the orchestra didn't come in. They it's like 3 of them come in, 5 of them were like, "What's that?" And I was lucky enough to catch that and to see that they are confused. And I stopped the show and then we started again. You see on the DVD the song that we started again and obviously played it right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I wouldn't see it or pay attention to it, then the song will be destroyed and it will not be on the album.
But obviously with the orchestra, they are very, the cadence is a bit different from playing heavy metal. It's very much, on time, and, the notes have to be played like that. What did you guys learn from that experience? Was like a good experience in the sense of, maybe we can apply, more of this stuff in our music. You guys use that anyway. I've been using that for many years, but
Yeah.
what was the learning experience playing with an orchestra?
First of all, it was a great experience to let others, the one who arranged all the notes for the orchestra, it was an amazing experience to give your song to other people, to let them write the arrangement for the song. It was a great experience, let's say, not to be involved. Because me personally, I am involved when it comes to our album. I am everywhere. If the drummer is recording, or if a violin is recording, or if a bell is recording, I'm always there, always involved. And it was a great experience actually to let go, to let people put their own interpretation for the song the way they understand it. And that way you get different spirit in your own art, which makes very nice ideas that you wouldn't think of. And I think that orchestra in general, to answer directly to your question, it gives a lot of power. Classic music.
Yeah.
I always found similarities between classic music and metal music, because, or let's say even progressive rock, because of the length of the songs or the symphony. The way that they could start somewhere and go somewhere else and end in a completely different zone, which is very similar to an Orphaned Land song.
Yeah.
We start and then we end completely in another timeline and zone. So I think that the meeting between those two elements, and of course the power of violins or orchestra or cello or all these trumpets and stuff, it gives a lot of pathos, and it gives a lot of very, very fitting energy, I think, to the music. So as you said, we always did it, but it was great to do it with a complete orchestra, and I hope we will do it again. It's a very complex production, but I hope that we will manage to do it once again.
Yeah. And, speaking of music, this album is coming out in December. Your last records has been released 2018, so like 5 years ago. Are you guys already thinking of new Orphaned Land music? Is there anything you can say about it, or it's still pretty much a secret at this stage?
Usually, it takes us a lot of time to make an album. because it takes us a lot of time to find the concept. Um, After you've been doing an album and treated it with your themes and subjects and stuff, you need to reinvent yourself or to think, oh, okay, where shall I take it now?
Yeah.
What shall I say now that I haven't said before? We don't want to repeat ourselves from the same angle, even though that we have a very similar topic or message that goes along with the band. We always come from a different direction. The last album was in my eyes, it was perfect in the manners of concept, using the Greek philosophy of Plato, the allegory of the cave, combined with the prophetic books of George Orwell and Aldous Huxley, and so on and so on. That I haven't still figured out what should be the theme for the next album. I know what I feel. I feel I feel that maybe reaching my 50s, I am starting to be less, let's say, optimistic. Because even at the story of the cave, which was written 2,500 years ago about the human behavior, you see that thousands of years have passed and humanity are still acting the same ways. I mean, look at the technology. Look at science. Look at medical or let's say agriculture or anything like that. The world is so advanced. I mean, look, we're talking and seeing each other on the video, and you have spaceships and satellites and iPhones and everything, but we do not learn or manage to overcome the fact that we choose wars, fighting, killing, and that is very depressing. I mean, I'm maybe it's something that also is related to aging, because I'm reaching my 50s in 2 years, and I'm doing it for 33 years now. And you see the fact that you know that there is a solution. You know, you see it in our shows, you see it happening in reality. This is not like something that I imagine and I tell you that I have a dream and I imagine. You see practically that it can work. And the fact that you see that there is a solution and people don't want to embrace it at the end of the day, it's a very depressing conclusion. It's very upsetting, and it gives you some kind of despair in a way.
And makes you selfish. You know, I'm you know, I feel what you're feeling in that sense. I'm reaching my 50s as well. You know, I think I lived more than I'm going to live. You know, I'm at that stage, but I'm thinking, you know, I probably live more than the years I have left now. And, you know, why would I be worried, you know, about, you know, what happens around me if no one else is pushing in that direction? People are becoming selfish, you know, and maybe, you know, the only thing I can do is be the best that I can, you know, care about my family, fuck everyone else. You know, and it's sad, but, you know, if no one else is is acting the same, not worrying about other people, especially when you see politics, you know, it's enraging anywhere in the world at the moment. You know, the rise of extremism, you know, it's ridiculous, and people are fucking falling for it. And they are listening to those buffoons, you know, against migrants, against like gay people, against anything, against religion, and they're fucking buying it. And we can live together peaceful without annoying anyone. Why are we rejecting that?
I think, you know, I have been thinking about everything you mentioned. I have been thinking about it all my life, because it's what I think about when I write, when I create, when I want to send a message. And I always came to the conclusion that there is a way to change it. There is a way to change the world, and there is a way to change the way people think or the way they follow politicians or media or anything else like they follow like buffoons.
Yeah.
And it's only through the education system.
Yeah.
Because when we are kids, we are like, plastilina. You can shape us. It's like you educate your children. It's like your father and mother educate you or me. And we are shaped. Of course, we are also inspired by the environment, by our friends. But the basic core of education, which is our home and school, what are they teaching at school? I mean, if I will ask you, how many things did you take with you from all those years in school? So you learned mathematics, you learned about literature, you know how to read and write. But why don't they teach us about human behavior when we are kids? I mean, they teach us about trigonometry.
Yeah.
Why did we need trigonometry? I mean, I'm not, no disrespect to trigo, but why did we need it and we didn't need human behavior?
Yeah.
How to behave, how to solve conflicts, how to talk to each other, how to manage a dialogue, how to listen.
Yeah.
The one of the main problems is that people don't listen.
Yeah.
Those things are not being at the education system. As if listening to someone's arguments, it's like a weakness or something. I don't know. So I used to say in my past interviews that it's all education. I used to say to the people, imagine that, for example, we are educated. It's wrong in our minds and heads that we shouldn't have, let's say, sexual relationship with our siblings or parents. This is like a taboo. It's twisted in our mind.
Yeah.
Why would killing other people or fighting with other people, it's not twisting our mind?
Yeah.
It's so bad to kill someone. It's a whole world. It's a universe. And I think it's because usually the male kids are playing, it begins with toy guns.
Yeah.
They play with guns, video games, they kill everyone, and then you move to the next level.
Yeah.
So that education normalize the fact of war and weapon in your mind.
Yeah.
It makes it normal. If you would play that I don't know, in twisted games of having sex with your siblings, it would be normal probably in some twisted, fucked up mind.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of education and what they put in our plate. And until that thing will not change, we are doomed in this circle forever.
And, it's one of the things. You have kids now, and, I have nephews. I don't have kids of my own. I have nephews, and, they go to a school where there's people, and my family, part of it is in Ireland. And, they go to a school where you have people from different races, from different religions, and they don't give a fuck about any of it. They play with one another. They don't, nothing. They are very genuine with the way they play with other kids. And you see some parents, the way they behave, it's where the kids get sometimes their antagonistic stuff from. Because when they're together with other kids, no problems whatsoever. And if there's any issue between them, they know how to deal with it without us interfering. It's true.
And kids usually, I see my two kids, my smaller kid is doing everything the bigger kid is doing. She's going on the sofa, he's going on the sofa. So they are copying what we are doing. And of course, if the parents are saying something or behave in a way, they see their parents as gods, and they will follow. And I really liked it that your nephews are in this school. It's amazing. I wish that schools like that would be even in everywhere.
Yeah.
Where there's a mixed population, and I think I really think that we should write the whole education manuscript from the beginning. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, you always have conventions about, you have conventions about technology, you have conventions about climate, you have conventions about, I don't know,
Everything.
economy.
Almost.
Yeah. What about conventions, but really big ones? Maybe there are small ones. What about the big convention about education?
Yeah.
When the world leaders are coming, when they decide and say, hey, we know how to figure out the problems of the world, we start with the education. I mean, it cannot be that I discovered this and I know that it's a fact, and they didn't. I'm not more clever, or it's not that I have seen the light and everyone had missed it. I'm sure that politicians knows it. They know it,
Yeah.
but they don't want to do it.
You know, they don't want to give the knowledge and the power to a younger generation because
Of course.
they know they'll be better than them, and they don't want to lose that. And that's one of the problems, even, you know, with, again, some extremist religions and you know, those freaking leaders, whatever they are, you know, we see that they don't want people to know, to have knowledge, because that will take their power away.
Of course, knowledge is light, and they want to keep them in fear, following the orders, following your religious leader, and saying amen to everything, and that's the biggest tragedy, actually. That's the biggest tragedy, and that's the allegory of the cave by Plato that we used in the last album. He wrote it because the Greek people, the old Greeks, they killed Socrates. Socrates was, for Plato and for me and probably for many others, he was the light. He was the philosopher. He was questioning. He was talking, checking, and the Greeks killed him by accusation that he is destroying the youth. That's how they described it. So you see, it happened 2,500 years ago, and it's still valid to these days.
And it's still happening. It's insane. Kobi, thank you very much for your time. You know, all the best for you know, what's happening in Israel and, you know, everywhere in the world at the moment, because we still have, you know, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. There's still other problems like in South America and all that. So, you know, we just hope everything can come to an end and we can live peaceful. I know it's going to be freaking difficult, but we can only hope. You know, we're old school. We can only hope for the best and educate our kids to be better than we were.
Do you know what is the smallest thing on planet Earth? It's hope. Because hope can shrink into a very, very, very small size, but it could still be there.
Yeah.
We keep the hope, and we hope for the best. We are metal people, and we always coexist, and I think that we will always have hopes.
Well, I think metal people are a good example, or, you know, we're probably not the best at the end, but we are a very good example how to get together, and, you know,
Definitely.
Everyone can have fun and be peaceful in one environment, and that's it. And, you know, hopefully we can see you in next year here in Portugal. You guys got 2 shows planned. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will go ahead. And you'll always be welcome here. You know that. I don't need to tell you that. You know that in Portugal, you will always be welcome no matter what.
Thank you. I love our Portuguese fans so much. I don't know if you know, I have a Portuguese ID and passport as well, because I am. It's centuries back, but I'm one of the descendants probably of the Sephardic who've been to Spain and Portugal. So in a way, I'm Portuguese as well. I am at home when I'm in Portugal, and I love Portugal very much. I can't wait to meet you all very soon.
Yeah, hopefully next year we'll see you again, and you know, all the best, and you know, looking forward to see you and just have fun with your music and for 2 hours, forget about everything else. Just have fun and enjoy the music. Kobi, thank you very much. Have a great day, and hopefully everything will be fine very soon. All right? Thank you.
Thanks for having me, and yeah, let's hope for the best. Thanks for having me, and speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.